Hello and welcome to another Blue Colour show. Today I'm going to be doing something a bit different in the form of two surprisingly good knockoffs. This one is a Voyager Deluxe-ish sized Combiner Wars Megatron, which I got off eBay for about £8. He's in the Armada colour scheme. For the most part, I think there's a bit of not normal Megatron there. He does have a normal Megatron head here, not the horned version. He's in a lovely shade of green with lighter bits and some standout orange. Up here, his turret does actually rotate quite well. Does a full 360. Surprisingly good. He's not perfect. The plastic is a tad cheapish, but not too cheapish. Seeing some of the knockoffs I've seen in the past, this guy is surprisingly good. Now, as good as he is, this guy is even better. This is a slightly smaller than the original Age of Extinction Optimus Prime, recoloured in, I believe, Scourge colours, or Nemesis Prime, depending on which one you prefer. Now, his colours are a bit garish. The teal does stick out like a sore thumb, but his transformation and the quality of him is brilliant for £8. Absolutely brilliant. I'll start off by transforming this guy because he is the trickiest. And I've started off in vehicle mode, we're going into robot mode because I can still have problems going from robot to vehicle. I always did have with the original one, which I do have, but he's in storage at the moment. So first things first, we'll do fold the legs down slightly, unpeg the legs. This is one of the tricky bits because it doesn't want to come out easily, is swing leg down, the shin, do it on the side as well. Kind of helps if you push from the back here. And move the foot around so he goes like that. Right. And you unhook the two wheels, front here from underneath. So you start off like that, and peg them, which allows you to free up everything in a minute. Sorry. Now, in order to get this bit loose, what I tend to do is just pop open the back, which you need to do anyway, reach inside and push on his head. That pops up the front of the window and the front of the grille. That allows you to reach and free this bit up here from the tabs. Pull it loose. Now, on the original Hasbro version, there was a section here that allowed fake smokestacks to stick up. This guy doesn't have them. He does kind of have two very small knobs on the front, sort of simulating that, but he doesn't actually come with the knobs for actually being smokestacks. Then you sort of, this is the bit I always have trouble with because it never goes right. You sort of jimmy this bit loose, which is going to form the arm. Straighten that up. Same with the other one. And yeah, like I said, I always have trouble with this bit. And you sort of work them around the window frame bit. Straighten that up. Fold these guys out slightly, the sides here. Flip them around, making sure they're out of the way. And that's that doesn't get jammed. They do actually peg inside, which I can't remember the original doing off the top of my head. So you fold the side bits around, freeing the arms like that. You then fold what was the windshield and front grille part down into crevice there. It doesn't peg in. Then you just adjust those bits there. Now, unlike the original one, the back exhaust section here doesn't fold up. You bring this back piece up and over the shoulders. It does loosely peg into a couple of tabs on the inside, not brilliantly. It does do it. Then you can straighten up the legs, straighten up the arms. He does still have the oddly sort of 45-degree-ish angled arms. The original one did. There he is in robot mode. And he does actually look pretty decent. He has focus. I don't think it's going to focus. The head sculpt's not too bad. It looks a bit off, but the eyes are a nice proportion. He doesn't have a faceplate. He has light piping, which actually does work. Just about to see it there. He has all the same articulation as the original one. No waist swivel, which I can't remember if the original one did or not. One of those, you can straighten out the arms or break them. So you can make them go fully down. All that. Hips have quite wide bits between what would you call them? The teeth. The hip joints, they are hip click, they do click, but they have quite wide detents. The feet have a lot of articulation, for surprisingly. The feet rotate, they move back and forwards as part of the transformational joint. Yeah. Now, again, this is not as good as the original one in many ways. These leg parts here don't fold down. He also has full can motion and a knee joint. So yeah, I mean, for £8, I'm not complaining. I actually do quite like this, and I will probably, just once I get my movie display up, I will more than likely display him with them, because he actually is pretty good. He does come with a version of the gun that Optimus Prime came with, which was also the Megatron shotgun. It doesn't fire. It also pegs into his hand quite well. That's actually going to be armed. He does have some wrist articulation as well, but not fantastic amounts. Head does move when I remember it. It doesn't really look up and down very much. I think it is on a swivel as opposed to a ball joint. Okay, so him, very good. I'll put a link in the description as to where I got these guys from. They have several different ones knocking about. You can have a look for yourself. But he's not bad. There is actually a red and blue version as well. So he's pretty cool. Come off to the side for a second to look at Combiner was Megatron. Now I don't have, bring back the shot, the leader class Megatron. I never was a big fan of it. I thought he looked a bit lanky, to be honest, and not very. Yeah, he wasn't something I liked. This guy, he's nice. He's a nice size. He fits in with a Deluxe or a Voyager. Now, to transform him and find out legs, I will say this: here and here were two tabs which tabbed inside here. They broke off. One's still actually inside, to that white little nub there. It broke off. This side I broke off because I was playing around with it and it came off because it pegged in really tightly, and as I was unpegging it, it snapped off. So the plastic quality on this guy is not as good as the Optimus Prime / Nemesis / Scourge. So fold out the legs, straighten them out, that bit down out of the way. Untab these bits here. Oh, again, I don't have the original one, but I know what it looks like in parts. This bit here does not move down, so these Tetris sections here do sit up quite high in robot mode. Right. So split the turret, take this middle section out, fold it up to the sides, fold up the crotch, fold down, and there's the turntable bit for the turret, so that's the same as the original one. Fold that down, take that in, fold down the legs, slide out the feet, which still does the shin section like the original Megatron. Fold up these covers. These are only on little barred pieces like the 3mm pegs from Reveal the Shield and that line. So these do untab really easily. So that's something to be wary of. Let's get that back in. So that's him transformed. I mean, there's his head, which I think is a absolutely fabulously good head sculpt. Again, light piping, which does work, and just about make it out there from the there and there. Now, like I said, these bits they move out. You can have them sort of sat off to the sides. There's like really big shoulder pads. You can position them however you want within a limited range. They do fold back slightly, but not sadly as good as the original one did, because I believe they could slide down slightly, so you didn't have this huge section over his head. Now this guy does have a teeth section on his shoulders. He has fold out. He has a similar set of shoulders to the original one, so they actually go quite far. You want them to. So they go back in. They have a full 360 motion. They have good elbows on both sides. He has no wrist. Oh, he has a bit of wrist articulation, I tell a lie. Again, not a huge amount. He has some head, but it's very limited because of these two shoulder pieces. His legs forwards are hindered by the crotch piece, as is in the back is hindered by the design. If this bit here was a bit narrower, or a bit further up, it might work better. Hinges are on his knee, so goes from there to there, so not a full 90. There's no real foot articulation apart from that, so he doesn't go side to side. Now he comes with his fusion cannon, which folds in and out. And it does peg into the arms. It pegs using this top peg here. There they are. I will say this: trying to stand this guy up is a bit tricky on non-flat surfaces, because he doesn't have quite the freedom of movement in his legs as the Optimus Prime one does. But you can get him there. He kind of has like his feet sort of point inwards slightly. And I just remember they're called ratchets. I could not remember the word for the type of hips that Optimus Prime and this guy has in his shoulders. They're called ratchet joints. So yes, he has ratchet teeth. Squeaky is all buggery, but they're still there. And you can kind of break his kneecaps if you want to sort of do some weird splits. So yeah, this guy I don't recommend as much. He's not a bad figure. I don't really recommend knockoffs anyway, to be honest, unless you're really into them or can find one that's really good quality. He's not bad. He's not perfect, but he's not bad. The Optimus Prime one is far better. Much better one. If someone had a gun to your head and said you had to pick one out of the two of these, pick the Optimus Prime one. I'll stick him here. And stick them up. We'll go side by side. These two. They're about. Optimus Prime is slightly taller. He's a bit of hair taller at the heads. Megatron's bigger because of these bits at the back. These bits here, but in terms of actual head height, Optimus Prime is